Are y'all ready to get this started?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Sit your ass down and get ready for the next episode of the Urban Green Room.
The Urban Green Room.
With your host, my girl AA and that dude D. Lewis.
Hey world, it's your girl AA.
What's up, y'all? It's your man D. Lewis.
And welcome to another episode of the Urban Green Room podcast. As you can see, it's just D and I tonight. We just wanted to have a one-on-one conversation. And it could not be any more timely. The topic of our first, and talking about first, not that first, but first
Like
along the line.
Why you want to do that?
The things that we watch on TV, because lately I've been having D watch some of the shows that I'm obsessed with. And there have been a lot of firsts and a lot of things that D's like, you like a lot of fuckery or drama. And I'm like, yeah, like that's my thing. But last night was another first for D. It was the first time you actually watched a presidential debate, right?
Yeah, that was the very first time. Yeah, and I'm kind of mad at myself. Like, I had no idea what I was missing out on because that shit was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that shit was ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, but funny as fuck. Like, you got two old ass men. We talking mid and late 70s now. You got two old ass motherfuckers up there, and they just couldn't get right. Like,
well,
especially
one
the one. Well,
one
yeah,
tried.
yeah, Joe tried. Joe tried, but you can't try that shit with this motherfucker. You know.
Uncle Joe tried to take the high road. He did. He tried to listen to Michelle Obama and take the high road, but there were clearly moments where we wanted him to go low.
Yeah,
we wanted him to hit below the belt.
Look, man, I love Michelle Obama. I do. Love her husband, Barack. What up? But I don't even think they talking like that no more. Like, you can't go high with this nigga. You cannot go high with this nigga, man.
So
look.
Well, let's talk about that.
All right.
Because there were clearly some points where, like, we were both on social media, shooting stuff out there. And as disturbing as it was funny, this is our reality, people. Like, this country has elected a person a clown.
I don't even know that.
I don't even know. Person is too loose of a word. We've as a country, the country has elected this
motherfucker
human, for a lack of a better word, a human that is incompetent, who right out refuses to denounce white supremacy and their hate groups. One, because he can't, because we all know he's a racist, so he can't. But I think last night was a reality wake-up call for a lot of individuals who have been giving him the benefit of a doubt.
I don't think so.
No.
I disagree. No, ain't nobody. Look, man, it's been 3.5+ motherfucking years. Ain't nobody giving this nigga the benefit of the doubt no more. He is what he is. We know this. We know it.
Joe said that.
There shouldn't be nobody on no fucking fence right now. There is no fence to motherfucking get on. Period. It's not.
No.
So when you talking motherfuckers that be like voters that's undecided, what the fuck you waiting to hear? There's no way that you should be on the fence right now. Man, fuck policy. Fuck that shit right now. Like, we ain't even got to get into policy, man. Just character of a motherfucker. Like, if none of us, right, nobody I know for sure would hang out with this motherfucker, right? Because his character's fucked up. This dude, no. I'm not doing that with these motherfuckers out here talking about some we undecided. And who I'm really motherfucking upset at is all you niggas out there. All you niggas out there that support this motherfucker. Where y'all come from? Who the fuck are y'all? After last night's performance, especially, this motherfucker was asked 3 times, 3 of them motherfuckers, to do something as simple as denounce racism. First off, why is that question even a fucking question at a presidential debate? Like, there should be no question for denouncing. Are you willing to stand up here tonight and denounce racism or white supremacy? There should not be that fucking question there. So first off, we know something wrong with this shit already. Like, you ain't never heard no question like that.
So as you can see, Dee was very heated about this discussion. Me, on the other hand, I
was laughing too.
Yeah, you were laughing.
I mean, it was hilarious.
I love political debates. I love history. I always tune in, for better or worse. You know, I just want to be informed about, you know, who and what each candidate has to say, and get a few laughs in along the way. And I'll tell you, outside of 2016, so let's go back before that. The first time that I realized that political debates could be hilarious and very entertaining was W. Listen, when George W. Bush took to the podium, any podium, like, he made me tune in.
That nigga was hilarious.
Not necessarily because I liked him. I grew to like him after, like, his presidency. But it was when he stepped to the podium, he always went off script. Like, I knew exactly when it was coming because he would do it over and over again. And if you want a good laugh, go back and look at some of his speeches, because he would start off nice and poised and somewhat presidential, but then he'd lean into it. And then and at that moment, like, he'd get a reaction from the crowd, and he would be like, oh yeah. And you could tell someone was in his ear saying, don't do it. Stick to the prompter, stick to the script. But he would lean in, and he'd go on some crazy tangent and just say something that was outlandish and hilarious. And I'd be like, was I the only person who heard him? Like, there was a one time W was on there. He was supposed to say tsunami. And he was like, it's a tsunami, people, a tsunami. And so in my head, I was like, as in the Cartoon Network? Like, because that's the tsunami. Like, this fool watched the Cartoon Network when he's supposed to be tuning in to the tsunami. Like he's supposed to be watching Weather Channel, and he watching the Cartoon Network. and then the time where he said, well, we got Saddam. He was Saddam, because he went after my daddy. Listen, I was just like, I don't think that was part of what you were supposed to say. So he would always give me one. Like, I learned that with W, it didn't have to be boring. So, like, that was the comical part. And I would sit there and be like, it's going to be on Saturday Night Live. Like, how could it not be on Saturday Night Live? Because this shit's hilarious.
Yeah, his shit was always funny.
So, yes.
My favorite W joint was, all right, he was supposed to say, you know, everybody know the saying, you fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. All right, so this motherfucker apparently forgot the saying mid-speech. He was like, you know, because you fooled me once, you know, shame on you. You fooled me twice. You're never gonna fool me again. Like, what the fuck did you just say? Yo, look that shit up, y'all, because that shit is hilarious.
Listen, he leaned into the podium. That's how you knew he was off script.
Yeah. So
I didn't think it could get any more comical than that. And the minute our current human, who is the president of this country, stepped onto the scene, like it became
Yo, he went right in.
It became unbearable to watch.
That motherfucker went right in.
And I don't think he knows any words that have more than 6 letters in it. Oh, beautiful. We'll give him beautiful because he says that a lot. Or more than 2 syllables. So that right there should tell you something. So the debate last night, as we were watching.
What's some of the best parts for you?
Best parts?
Yeah.
Why don't you shut up, man? Because listen, D, when he said it, did he not sound like Sanaa Lathan in you know where I'm going. In what's that movie?
You talking not Love and Basketball,
but hip hop, the one on
yeah, that one.
Oh God, why can't we think of it?
With
Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar.
Oh my God. I was like, wait a second.
Damn.
That's our movie. So when she said, whatever, man. He was like, why don't you shut up, man? You know, he wanted to say something else. But when he said that, I was like, okay, all right, Uncle Joe. That's 2 points for you. Tell that fool to shut up again. Yeah, that was a highlight for me. Another highlight that Joe said. What else did Joe say?
I don't know. I was focused on the other motherfucker because he was hilarious.
So
I'm sorry, man. He fucked Joe up last night. Not on policy and all that other shit. He didn't fuck him up far as topics, and Joe didn't technically lose the debate.
No.
I don't think he lost the debate.
I think he got his points across.
But I think what happened was Trump's strategy was to go in there and overtalk him so that he couldn't get heard, so that his points wouldn't get heard. Mm-hmm. Because Trump doesn't have any policy.
He don't have a plan.
So he don't have no plan or nothing. So the only thing he can do is try to out slick talk Joe, which he did. So, I mean, I think he accomplished what he wanted to do personally. As far as his party go, they wasn't happy with that shit at all.
But Joe said, you are who you are. And I was like, he ain't never lie. Because look, I can spot a crook a mile away. And that fool is a crook. And I don't know why no one else can see why your current human that's in that office.
You're stupid.
Listen, deplorable human, horrible human, you can add so many adjectives to describe that human. But he was right. You are who you are. And we're not going to deny that. You're a racist. You're a liar. I have true
My highlight was I'm going with Trump. Like, think about this though. He told Joe, "You not smart. You dumb. You not smart. Don't even use the word smart when you addressing me." Now listen.
That took some balls.
Yo, how you tell a grown ass nigga? You tell a grown ass nigga, yo, don't use the word smart when you talking to me.
Who right now has proven to be the dumbest
Trump gangster
human
as fuck,
we know right
man.
now.
This nigga's just straight gangster. You can't. How you tell a grown man that and you still able to talk after that?
So
let me
that
was the funniest one.
Let me tell you this
for me.
This is my opinion, people. My opinion. Could care less if you agree with it, but Donald Trump is the nigga that they thought Barack Obama was gonna be.
Facts.
Think about that. Donald Trump is the nigga that they thought Barack Obama was gonna be. He's a bully. He doesn't care about anything and anyone. He bust up in the motherfucker, bust up in the White House, made his own rules, is lying. He got all his homeboys around him. they all scheming and plotting. So who's gonna do what when? If you disagree with him, he getting rid of your ass. Like it's The Apprentice. You're fired. He is running things like a true thug. Literally, a true thug without a plan. The exact thought, and you can't tell me that they thought that our great president Barack Obama was going to do to this country. They've actually allowed this idiot to bust up in the motherfucker and be the nigga that they were so frightened of, that concept 4 years prior. Is that not the most ridiculous shit that you ever heard of? It was not okay for the black man to do it. But golly, in this great country of ours, we got ourselves a white nigga, a wigger in the house. And he is running it in true form. And I'm so disgusted. There's no other way that I can put that to people, because I know that was the fear. And yet we are living in that reality with the complete opposite. Somebody whose claim was to make America great, and all he's done so far is cause chaos and havoc.
That's a good take. That's a good take. Funny as hell, too.
Yeah, listen.
Nah, but yeah. I mean, when he got in there, Barack did shit, and they was like, oh, he trying to make himself a king. He wants to be King Barack. There's just so much shit they did to derail his presidency. It was it's sad. And then for this motherfucker to go up in there and have all the backing he's got is just crazy. He strong-armed the entire motherfucking joint.
And continues to.
Yeah. So, yeah. And he got their ass shook too. So, but anywho, that was my first debate. And I was shit, man.
He was laughing. He was laughing.
I had a good time.
Listen.
I had a good time. It was sad. I'm laughing, but you know, I'm laughing to keep from crying and shit, because it's like, yo, this is really where we at. You know, this is really where we at. So, and a lot of it hurt. Like, that shit did hurt when this motherfucker with the question about denouncing white supremacy, because, you know, in my mind, right in the wake of the verdict of motherfuckers walking for Breonna Taylor for murdering her. You know what I mean?
Which is a whole nother topic.
And all the other shit that's been happening to our people, and how much white people in this country right now, those who are racist, feel so emboldened, right? They feel so emboldened right now for the past 3.5 years. I mean, they pretty much had a free pass.
They just out here.
They out here now. Like, we ain't got to hide that shit no more. Shit, we out here. We out in these streets, nigga. That's where they at. And for him to, you know, to throw him actually a bone, this motherfucker actually said, yo, y'all motherfuckers stand by. And the minute
stand up and stand by.
I'ma get a motherfucking word, and y'all niggas out there, get them. Think about that. So if this motherfucker loses, the first thing out his mouth is gonna be that shit was rigged. They cheated us.
Mm-hmm.
Burn this bitch down.
So this is the thing. For anyone who says that comment was taken out of context, like that's not what he meant, shame on you and fuck you.
You're a fucking idiot.
Because there's a couple things that I know for a fact. That human doesn't have a problem denouncing anyone. First of all, we're nasty women. We're deplorable. We're thugs. We're all these other things that he denounces on a daily basis, whether or not he says it in a press conference, on his walk to the golf course, or in a tweet. He's quick to denounce something he doesn't like. What we saw last night was him refusing to denounce the support that he has and how he gained his role as president. He's never going to do it. I don't care what the White House press secretary, says. I don't care what the media says. There are two things that I know for a fact. That fool will denounce something really quick. And last night, he did not. And if you don't see anything else about that debate, that needs to be your number one takeaway. And if you're okay with someone who thinks and moves like that, then you're not okay with me. And that's plain and simple. And thank you, because I love it when somebody's outright racist in my face, because now I know how to move and not move with you. So if it's not about business dealings, I don't got shit to do with you. So I love the fact that we have outright racists now. Like my neighbor, I love the fact that we have outright racists, because you ain't never got to worry about me saying shit to you. Like I can stop waving when I leave out the house and be like, hey neighbor, I don't have to wave to you. I don't got to smile to you. I can just do like this and we can keep it moving. Perfectly okay with that. But that's a whole nother story too, because I don't know how this motherfucker is racist. He got all these other issues that should lead him not to be racist and be pro everything else. So that's just my take on things.
But you didn't hear that from us.
But you ain't hear that from us. Like, that's a whole nother episode. But I did want to share. Oh, the other thing that I like that Joe said, he said, get out of your bunker and get off the golf course.
Yeah, that was a tight joke.
Yeah, you probably but I'm going to share my post from Facebook last night, because I literally was like, there are 15 conversations that I've had that personally went better than what we saw in the debate last night. So the first one that I've had better conversations with a dog. I don't really speak bark, but when I tell the dog to do something, they usually do it. They might bark back. I know exactly what that means. When they sit down, they're sort of obedient. They listen and then they chime in. I tell them get off the couch. They get off the couch. Better conversation. A drunk Cajun had that conversation, fully understood it, didn't even need subtitles. He understood me. I understood his slang. It went really well. We ended up being friends at the end of the night. A 2-year-old. I've had several really intelligent conversations with a 2-year-old that went better than what we saw happen in that debate.
And that's sad. Think about that.
It is, because most 2-year-olds can't do a complete sentence. But it was a better conversation. And they probably use the same words that the human in the Oval Office does. So we were on even playing field. My sock puppets. I've had better conversations with my sock puppets.
I didn't know you had sock puppets.
But the G-babies.
Is that kind of I don't know.
No, when the G-babies come over, I would entertain them with the sock puppet. And then I sometimes talk to myself in the better conversation. What can I say? Sock puppet.
I'm here for it. Let's roll with it.
The person on the play toy phone. You remember how when you were a kid, you would get that little phone that had the eyes and, you dial the number.
You dating yourself. I'm pretty sure they not that no more.
Oh, that's okay. When you trying to get out of shit and you pick up your cell phone, like you on the phone with somebody, and you be like, yeah, girl. Yeah, I'm on the phone right now. Girl, I heard you. Yeah. He did what? I call you back. Those phone calls. Much better conversations than what I saw last night on the debate. A Sprint customer service rep. Only because
them
right now,
motherfuckers is horrible.
I hate Sprint and T-Mobile. I shouldn't say I hate Sprint. I hate Sprint now that T-Mobile's taking over. So customer service reps, I don't want to say it like this, but they outsource. And sometimes when you outsource, there's a communication barrier. and they tend to want to go page by page with your issue. And I need you to fast forward because I don't have 2 hours for you to read ahead and find the problem. We left off on page 67. I need you to get to fucking page 67 and solve my goddamn problem. And if you can't, let's get somebody else on the phone. Complete disaster. So better conversations with somebody where I have to tell them what part of their script we're on to get them there. Sprint customer service reps. Much better conversation than what we saw happen last night on the debate. A fat kid eating cake. Especially if it's good cake. Because we gonna stuff while you rubbing your belly. They gonna stuff their face and be like, hum, hum, hum. Hum, 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 hum. I understood all of that. He gonna do the dishes and take out the garbage when he's done. Better conversation than what I saw last night. My son playing Madden. Have you ever tried to talk to somebody, or even D, playing Madden? Have you tried to get them involved in a conversation when they are playing that game? Better conversation. Because it's usually 2 phrases. Wait, get out my way. You talking to me? Where the fuck you at? Where y'all fucking at? Like talking to whoever they playing with. Not Madden. Call of Duty. Either one. Doesn't matter. Better conversation. This is my favorite. My toothless grandmother eating corn.
That's so fucked up. I want you to know that too. when I saw that shit, that's because the only thing now anybody, at least our generation and older, always had at least one relative. It may not have been your grandmother. It might have been an aunt. Somebody ain't had no motherfucking teeth.
Eating corn.
And they always wanted to eat motherfucking corn on the cob and get to talking. And the shit be flying every motherfucking where and you trying to dodge and shit. That's all I saw. And I was disgusted.
As disgusted.
I was so disgusted.
As the image is, better conversation.
And they always can't talk. Like, you can't understand these motherfuckers when they not eating. Never mind. Keep going. My bad. I digressed.
Better conversation.
Come on, get inside. I'll take you for a ride. We could go anywhere we want to. Don't let this moment last and last.
My cousin that's always high. You know, you got that one cousin that stay on E. They stay on full and be like talking in riddles and you don't really understand what they be talking about, but you do. And you then have the nerve to answer them. Better conversation. Better conversation. And it always ends with, man, I miss you, cuz. I love you so much. And you be like, I love you too. Cheers to the cousin that's high, because it's a much better conversation than
Shout
that
out to the high
night.
cousins.
A ghost. I've had better conversations with ghosts. And that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole
itself.
nother one. Leave that one alone right now.
That one right there. That's a happy Halloween conversation. My girdle. I firmly believe I've had better conversations with my girdle, getting it on, tighten it, stay there. They listen and stay there. Don't pinch me like that up under the arm. Get off my titty area. Like, I've had better conversations with my girdle than what happened last night. Like, come on and get up. Better conversations because they actually listen and follow directions. Unlike that human last night. My magnetic eyelashes. So D said, when you gonna put them lashes on? I'm like, I just really want to go get my lashes done. So I haven't had them done since COVID. I get extensions. I think it's time. I think it's time because I cannot get the magnetic lashes on. And for the life of me, I can glue one lash strip on, but I can never get the other one on. So then I look crazy. And then I have to do this. I have to move the hair like this during the day because I've ripped that lash right on the fuck off because it wasn't paying attention. But that conversation I have with that lash, like you need to act right or you coming off, we clearly understand each other. So better conversation with my magnetic or strip lashes. Other things that are better. That mosquito that be looking at me. Every time I go outside and we barbecue and that mosquito be looking at me, I'll be like, listen, here, motherfucker, don't come over here. You don't want none of this. I'm ready. You know, I got the swatter. I got deep wood off on with the deep. Listen, don't come over here. And then what he do? He stay over there. Better conversation. If he don't, one of him and his cousins want to try me, they get got. Better conversation, though. And then last but not least, I've had better conversations with myself when I am constipated and trying to coax that shit out. Much like the shit we heard last night, better conversations trying to encourage myself and let myself know it's okay that I'm going through this temporary situation. Because that shit we watched last night was ridiculous for two humans to get up there and tell us that they want to represent us as the leader of this free country, so-called free country. But nonetheless, he takes on conversations I've had and the not so far past that went incredibly well and much better than what we saw last night. Thought I'd just share that. I know you're disgusted.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Kind of a little bit.
You know you.
So what's that conversation be like?
What? When you're on the toilet and you
No, I don't want to know. Don't.
Oh, I'm about to say you already know because sometimes you gotta sit there and you gotta rock, talk to yourself.
Listen, I said we're not gonna do that.
Be like, it's okay.
We
it's
ain't
okay.
doing that right now.
It happens to everybody. Go get some prune juice or some pear juice for me or something. It ain't feeling good. I feel bloated. Girl, how you let this happen to yourself?
All right. So moving right along.
So
You're gonna cut that short.
So last night was a first of many, and we are gonna watch the vice president debate, which hopefully will go a little bit better.
I don't know if I could do it.
Oh, first of all, let's not get it twisted.
I'm waiting on the next
we
Trump.
Have
Well,
a
I'm gonna
black
watch Kamala.
woman
I gotta watch
get
Kamala.
her point across to a male. I don't care if he was black or white. He don't stand a chance. I can't wait for him to get his smug ass up there and think he's gonna dominate shit with somebody who look like me. He don't stand a chance.
He don't.
No, he don't. So we'll be watching that, and then hopefully by the next time the presidential debate, the next one comes live. I've heard that they're going to do some things different, like turn off mics when people are talking out of turn. Hopefully that other human will get it together. Hopefully Uncle Joe will
need to step up.
Muster up some courage.
Uncle Joe need to step up, man. Don't let this motherfucker bully you like that.
Yeah. Because listen, I couldn't have been in the audience because when he started going in on his son, I would have let loose like a cannon. I would have went after his whole family. I would have went after the new pictures of his wife. I would have went after everything and been like, you a draft dodging motherfucker. You ain't never been to war. The only war you done had was with that hair of yours and the color of your tan. Listen, them the only things you know how to fight. So, like we would have went in. I'd have stabbed his ass all over with a butter knife and he'd be bleeding out with gangrene and tons of pain. So, Uncle Joe took the high road. I ain't got time for that.
Don't take that high road, Joe.
I don't need you to take the high road. Joe, can you just come here? You ain't got to go here. Can you just come here? Like, can we take this road? So, be looking for the next debate. So, I also have been having D watch Love at First Sight. So Love at First Sight is a show that comes on the Lifetime channel. So I've been watching this show from the very beginning. I watch, life after the show with all the couples, who have made it. So the concept of the show is that they have these experts in love and marriage match couples up. And by match, I mean the first time that they're meeting each other is actually at the altar. So they're getting married. Is the very first time that they meet each other. And then over the course of 8 weeks, they kind of, walk their way through the relationship of what marriage will look like. They get to know each other. And then hopefully by the end of 8 weeks, they will announce whether or not they're going to stay together or they're going to get a divorce. So it's an actual marriage. They do marriage or stuff. They consummate, they argue, they fight. But by the end of the weeks, they figure out if they're going to be together. Now, this is the first time Dee's watched pretty much the whole season with me. So it's not like he hasn't seen bits and pieces of shows. He usually walks out and it's like, there's some bullshit right here that you're watching. So, Dee, what is your take on the first full season so far of what Married at First Sight?
My-
But don't say it like that.
No. Let me go.
Okay,
Let me
go ahead.
No, it's weird as hell, man. Listen, all right. I went into it. I will say this about the show. I went into it, of course, like you say, like this is some dumb ass shit. Why would somebody ever do something like this? This is stupid. You know what I mean? That's kind of my mentality. I'm, going in my traditional bag and shit. Like, this is stupid. How the fuck you gonna do this? This shit ain't never gonna work. And then I said, well, wait a minute. It's motherfuckers that date for 3, 4, 5 years, get married and shit. They divorce after the first year. Why not? Why not give it a go? Fuck it. If everything else ain't work, well, you got to lose, right? Fuck it. So I started watching it kind of from that point of view, like, all right, and, kind of stop judging the people for doing it. And the shit she like she said at the beginning of the show, she likes fuckery. Any type of fuckery, she is going to find it. I
like
swear to God.
Smutty TV.
I swear to God, she's going to find it. I'm like, how do you find this shit?
And it's so drastic because we both like history. We both like science. And then I get fuckery. I'm diverse in my viewings.
But it's funny as hell. It's funny because these motherfuckers, man, so these supposed experts, they supposed to be experts, but some of these motherfuckers they put together there's no way in fuck they should have ever been in a relationship, period, let alone married. And then, but on this particular season, there's one couple that, well, goddamn, they gotta be the only two motherfuckers on the face of this earth that are compatible like that. Like I've never seen it before.
No,
and it's weird as hell because they both strange. They strange as fuck, y'all. Like,
but they're so perfect for each other.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you know what? It proves to me because I'm a diehard romantic. So the concept of getting married at first sight. Like, if I wasn't married, I would probably do it.
That don't fucking surprise me.
But I really believe in the concept of love. And sometimes if you're not finding it, wherever you're looking, you have to think outside the box. And the concept of the show resonates with me. Like, I find myself sitting there, like, getting giddy, like I'm the person in the relationship. So, because I go back to moments in our relationship where I was like, oh, that's so cute. I remember we did that. Oh my God, I go do that. Like that's me watching the show. But the couple that we're talking about, if you're into Love at First Sight, this season, there is one couple. They are so different. And it's hilariously different. Like who are you gonna find to marry her? And then here comes this guy. And you're like, oh my God, why does that work? To me, it says that there is someone out there for everyone. And sometimes you need a little help finding each other. And they're so cute to us because it's like, where else would a lady who puts a big ass bird pin in her hair and has ruffles on top and a plaid print skirt on the bottom. And I'm not saying the like patterns, the play on patterns don't go. What I'm saying is this play on patterns does not go. And find a man. Like there was so many wrongs with her. Like during the wedding, they had some.
Oh man. So this is like episode 1, ain't it? Like one or two. It's like the beginning of the shit, man. And so I'm still in my, man, I can't believe I'm sitting down here watching this bullshit. I can't stand it, but I'm gonna do this shit because I told her I'd do it. And so the bride's people are coming up. I don't know what you call the shit.
It was a unicycle.
The party, no.
Oh, the bridal party.
The bridal party. It's their turn. The groom's already standing up there.
Mm-hmm.
So they start some different music and shit, and the bridal party starts coming down. Now, I should have known what kind of bullshit this was going to be moving forward because she came down on a fucking unicycle.
It was hilarious.
Like, down the fucking aisle.
It was hilarious.
In a unicycle.
I know. And we both looked at each other and I'm like,
what the fuck are you watching? Like, this is just fucking stupid at this point. And then she came down. And I said, God damn.
She just reminded me of a hippie love child.
This is like
that free-spirited, naturistic type person.
White people shit is what I'm going to call it.
Either way, it was,
listen.
They're a couple that mesh really well together.
And then come to find out these motherfuckers knew each other.
Mm-hmm. And could have been dated. Could have been dated each other.
Yeah.
So it's cute. But then you always get the one couple that you like, like they not gonna make it. Like, this is not good. And this season, there's two for me. There's a black couple and there's a white couple that I'm just like, It's the one white couple. She is a little self-centered to me. That's the one who's like, oh, you didn't compliment me today and tell me how beautiful I am and how much you're in love with me. So I don't feel really good about myself. Like her. Like, why didn't you say that to me? Because that would have totally made your day. Not my day. Your day. You got her, and then he can't look her in the eye or pretty much in the face. Like, this would be me talking to D. Well, I think I'm going to do the dishes.
I hope your voice ain't like that. I hope your voice ain't deep like that. Shit, because you wouldn't be talking to me, motherfucker. I'm telling you that right now.
But, like, he will not make eye contact with her, and he looks nervous and uncomfortable and stressed. And he hasn't even made a move on her.
I know that motherfucker can't wait for this shit to be over.
I think they're on weeks 5 or 6 already.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, it ain't gonna make it past 8. Let me just put it that way. So that couple, and then it's the sister girl that and this is a whole nother podcast topic that we might want to address too at some point, where she has been hurt so much that she can't realize when there's a good dude in front of her. Like, the emotional baggage and that she's carrying prevents her from opening up and receiving love or the gestures of love. and it hurts my soul because the guy seems really genuine, really caring. He's going out of his way. And there were certain things that she does that just rub me the wrong way. And I just don't feel like she's emotionally ready to be married. And this is the part where I love telling people, like, being married is way more than the wedding. The wedding is one day. The marriage is the rest of your life. And it's a true commitment. And you have to be ready for that. And she clearly is not for me. Like the concept of being married, the wedding, how fun it would be to marry a stranger, but the actual act and the behaviors that go into being married, not the wedding, but being married is completely different than the wedding itself. And she's not there. She's not ready to me. So Dee's watching a lot of first.
Yeah, so the shit.
Me.
I'm watching the shit. I'm watching the shit. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Shit, I mean, it's funny as hell. So it grew on me. It grew on me. So
to the point where
I could watch the shit now.
He is like, when it comes on, he like, oh, what's going on with them? I'm like, look at you getting into something that I like. Because normally he would be like, no,
because that shit is just wow.
And I would normally like just, because it's on demand, I would just normally watch it like Saturday morning when I'm washing my hair. Like that would be my thing to watch because I know he's not interested. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff I watch Saturday morning that he's not interested in.
I just ain't gonna do it.
Baby steps.
I just ain't gonna do it.
So, but this was our first. Like you started with the debate and then you moved to love at first sight. So I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on the debates, the next couple debates, especially with the vice president. So we'll probably do a pod on that, just because I think in this day and age, we can no longer pretend to have the knowledge we need. Like we need to be able to see it for ourselves, decipher it, and then make educated decisions based on that. Like, so Facebook is not a good source for your news.
Not all of it.
Not all of it. Sometimes you do have to pick up a newspaper, a reputable magazine, a book, watch several news outlets, and then listen to what these candidates have to say. Because while this might be, the year for the presidential election, there's also senators that you need to be in the know around and what they stand for and how they're going to represent you, your community, and us as Black people. But you also need to, on the local level, be more informed with those individuals.
The local level is more important than the national level.
Yes.
Because that's what's affecting your everyday life. Like you got people out there that's in power over your daily life, far as the laws and all this other shit that go on in your local communities. And if you're not up on none of that and you're not voting, then you don't have a say in anything. And in my opinion, all you niggas out there that don't want to vote and just say fuck it, don't complain about nothing. Shut the fuck up. No, you're more than welcome not to vote. I mean, that's your choice. But I don't want to hear you complaining about shit. Shut the fuck up.
And I always go back to the next time there's a police incident, we can make a difference. And a lot of that starts on the local level.
A lot of them chiefs are voted in. Them AGs like that coon ass motherfucker in Kentucky voted in. So
if you don't voice,
you gotta be up on that shit.
If you don't attend some of those local meetings, if you don't get involved and get educated around what some of these folks really stand for, you stand to lose. We lose. And we can't afford to let that happen any longer. So stay tuned because we'll be doing a recap of the debates and a couple more first things that we're watching. And we'll get each other's take on it. So that'll be quite interesting. And then let us know.
again, get out and vote, y'all.
Yeah.
Learn what the issues are. Get educated. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Knowledge gives you power and money. So it's just, we got to start getting educated as a people so that we can start building back up to where, we need to be as a community.
And take control.
We need to take control of our shit. So let's get out there and let's take control of our shit. Now, that ain't, I ain't saying that's the end all be all, because we still got to do the other shit we doing too. I'm a firm believer in shit. We got to rise up in this bitch. But along with that, we got to get educated and we got to vote. So I just wanted to put that out there again before you close it out for good.
I'm happy that you said that. And there's still time to register. So if you haven't, if you've been on the fence, get off the fence, because now is the time to stand up for yourself, your family, your loved ones, your community. No longer can we afford to just sit there and allow somebody else to dictate to us what's going to be good for us. Nobody knows what's best for us like we do. So let your voice be heard. And yes, we want to hear from you. We want to hear, what are your first times watching? If this was your first time watching a debate, how did it go for you? What were your takeaways? What would you like to see differently? What were your expectations? First in watching television shows that you thought you would never catch yourself watching, but now it's become your guilty pleasure. Share those with us in the comments. Remember to subscribe, and hit the bell for the subscription on YouTube so that you get the notifications. But like us, share it, the content, because quiet as kept, we're fucking hilarious. But more important, there's tons of topics that we have to discuss, and we have plenty of guests lined up to join us for those topics. So if you also have a topic or want to be a guest on the podcast, let us know, because we can definitely make that happen. For right now, I'm your girl AA.
Yo, I'm your man D Lewis.
And this has been the Urban Green Room Podcast, and we out.
Thank you for tuning into the Urban Green Room Podcast. Let's keep the conversation going. Hit us up at urbangreenroom.net or on our Facebook or IG page.
I always follow them.
Tell us what you think about today's conversation. If there's a topic you want to discuss, let us know. And by all means, tell a friend. The Urban Green Room Podcast, giving you something to talk about. Until next time, we out.